good, YouTube? It's Aquarius, Leviathan Prophecy, and I was just watching Mad Dog. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He talked about the Giants a lot, and now he was talking about who should the Giants pick if we, you know, in that if we're in that position to pick, you can either pick Isaiah Simmons or Chase Young. Now, the difference between those two types of linemen is Isaiah Thomas is what you call a Swiss Army knife. Like he can just do it all. He's a thoroughbred. He's a do-it-all. He's a joker. He can play multiple positions, just like how they use peppers. Peppers can play different positions. Like the Giants love hybrid players. They love players that can do multiple things. I'm not saying that Chase Young can't, but when I see him on tape, he cannot. He cannot. The only thing, he's a stationary defensive end. He's kind of like a poor man's version of JPP. You know what I'm saying? The only knock that JPP had was he only played 1 year in college, but he was just too raw in athleticism to pass up. So the Giants drafted him around 2010, and yeah, I mean his main job was just to get to the quarterback. They saw that he wasn't really good in coverage. They tried lining him up. You know what I'm saying? Like the only time they try lining him up is if they was going for a fake blitz or an all out blitz. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there was games where he was effective, even off the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? I remember that pick that he had on Tony Romo. Tony Romo was trying to, he looked one receiver off and then he, targeted the other one, and JPP was just right there to pick it off. And he did it twice. He did it to Aaron Rodgers and he did it to Tony Romo. So that's the athleticism I was talking about. Like, instead of just, getting after the quarterback, he had hands too, So, but with Chase Young, I just don't see that. I think, Chase Young is a great player, but there's a lot of baggage to him, you know. When you study the NFL and you study these college players, you know who stands out, you know. And I won't be shocked if Colin Coward says the same thing. Like he has an eye out for talent. Like Simmons just splashes on your TV screen. Like he just makes you jump out of your TV screen. I mean, he makes you jump out of your seat. You know what I'm saying? So, look, both players are great. Um, it's going to be hard for the Giants to pick either one. But if the Giants were to pick one, the Giants is going to pick Simmons because he can do it all, because he's versatile. Where Chase Young, you could just line him up. He's a stationary defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see what the Giants do with the fourth pick, So, we'll see. We'll see. Because I think the first three, pick number one, pick number two, pick number three, they're all going to be quarterbacks, This is a quarterback league, and this will always remain a quarterback league. There will be no, like Isaiah Thomas, if he can stay healthy, or Isaiah Simmons, I say Isaiah Thomas, if Isaiah Simmons can stay healthy, he could play for the next, he could play for the next 15 years. Forget about 9 years, forget about 10. Like, he could legitimate play for the next 15 years if he stays healthy, you know? Like, again, and another thing, conditioning, you know what I'm saying? Like does Chase Young, really, really, take care of himself? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Simmons had an injury throughout his college tenure. But obviously, Chase Young has. And Chase Young is another one that'll come up in big games. Like when we need a stop on third down, fourth down, is he going to be that X factor, that, stands out among the rest? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be. This NFL draft is gonna be great, unless they cancel it or they could go ahead and proceed. Because like I said again, it's not like they're playing. They're just going up there, getting their jersey number, and the fans don't necessarily have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like they could do it just like how they do it in the WWE. Just perform just without the fans. So if they can do it, like people, their fans can watch through their TV, or what I'm saying, or anywhere else, sports bars. They can watch it there. Like it don't necessarily have to be fans there. Like it'll be quiet. Like all you hear is freaking crickets, like him walking, shaking the commissioner's hand. The commissioner tells him, whatever he gotta tell him, and then obviously they take the jersey, turn it around, and then obviously the cameramen take pictures, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, but who knows? They say that they're gonna go through it. They're gonna go through the process because there's no other way for them to resume. Because these players need a, unless they go back to college, unless all of them go back to college for another year, for another year, unless they postpone the draft, then all those players that declare for the NFL draft have to go back. So, like I said, both players are great, but if I had to pick one, I'm picking Simmons. Chase Young is great, but Simmons is just that type of dude that's rare, and I think he's gonna have a longevity of his career. I think he's gonna have a longer career than Young. Young is just gonna have to deal with a whole bunch of injuries and drama off the field, and you can sense it. Like it's always 90% of your body language is you. The way you carry yourself, the way you act, talk, whatever. Like 90% of your body language is you. So if Chase Young seems like the type to answer questions with a quick no, I don't care. So you already know what type of player he's going to become. But if it's players like Simmons, who is very polite, the answer is yes, I think so. Yeah, sure. I could be that guy. Whatever they want me to do to help this team win. You already know. You know what I'm saying? 90% of your body language is you. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell everybody. Who you are is what your body language is. You know what I'm saying? So, you could be the nicest guy, you could be the cruelest guy, but your body language tells it all. You know what I'm saying? So that's why policemen are so trained to understand body languages so well. Because they can tell you off the rip if you're a nice guy or if you're a cruel asshole. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said again, both players are great. But if you want that generational talent, that's Young. If you want that generational talent, that's Young. But if you want that leadership, that raw talent, that raw skill that you can't teach, that's no, hold on. I think I said that backwards. If you want that generational talent, which both of them are, but if you really want that true generational talent, that raw athleticism, leadership, is Simmons. If you just want that talent, that skill, that toughness, is Young. But we all saw how Clowney blew up. You know what I'm saying? After that big hit, and everybody was just hyped. Well, actually, not everybody, but the media was just hyping him up. And when he finally got to the league, he crumbled. He couldn't really stay healthy to save his life. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, when he went to the Houston Texans, he started finally getting his way. He started finally coming on. You know, so he bounced around the league. So now he's a free agent. Nobody wants to touch him. I get it. He comes with a lot of baggage. You know, his health. You know, can he withstand a 16 game? You know, so you know all that. You know, you have to process. So, like I said again, the description, the video of Simmons will be in the description box down below. And if you also want to see Chase Young highlights, that's also going to be in the inbox down below. So yeah. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other. Peace. And I'll be dropping 3 videos tomorrow. So peace.